Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's the world's top bodybuilder. He's also the Hollywood superstar who made movies like Conan the Barbarian, Terminator, Total Recall, and several other movies. He's a billionaire and also a governor of California and served in politics for many years. But do we know how he got to where he is today? I certainly don't. And this is the podcast episode to shed some light on his story. So this episode is about Arnold Schwarzenegger and how he got to where he is today. Hope you like it. Let's start with his childhood, shall we? He was born on July 30, 1947, really to a strict Roman Catholic family in Austria. He was born in a really small village, rather poor, and it was a old home with no plumbing, fridge, or phone. His mother would go from farm to farm, foraging for butter, sugar, and grain. His father was a former Nazi, and he was an abusive alcoholic. Him being a Nazi and an abusive alcoholic didn't turn out very well for Arnold. He nicknamed Arnold as Cinderella because he was smaller and a weaker sibling. Can you believe that? The same guy went on to become the world's top bodybuilding champion. In fact, Arnold's father, he used to often beat him with a belt and berate him for not being strong or smart enough. Here's something interesting. Both Arnold and his brother, they had a morning daily routine. They used to wake up at 6 a.m. every day, do some chores, and that's how they earned their breakfast. And after all their chores were done, their father would send them outside to play soccer. Even if there was a storm outside, they would always play soccer. And the reason why his father would ask him to play soccer is because he wanted his son to become a bigger soccer player. But Arnold had different thoughts. When he was 10, he always wanted to have a bright future in the land of opportunity that's America himself. He used to tell his friends that he was going to go to America, and his friends would laugh at him. Well, apart from going to America, his dream was to become a bodybuilder. His idol at that time was a bodybuilder named Reg Park, who won Mr. Universe, started movies, and created a business empire in America. That was his idol. And Arnold wanted that for himself. At the age of 13, Arnold's soccer coach took them to gym one day. And there he saw this weightlifting equipment and picked up his first barbell. According to him, that's when his mind was made up. He said to himself, if Reg Park could go to America by working out, then he could go as well. That was his plan for freedom. Bodybuilding, winning Mr. Universe, go to America, make movies, invest in business. Simple. That was a simple plan that Arnold had. So once he set his mind on bodybuilding, he plastered his room full of strong men. And one day his mother thought he gone crazy, or he may be gay. So he took him to the doctor, fearing he was gay. But his focus was unbreakable. He trained obsessively, even breaking into a closed stadium on a Sunday to work out in a freezing cold. As he was practicing for the bodybuilding championships, he was then enlisted in the Austrian army to complete his mandatory years of service. But he never stopped working towards his dream, and he even skipped his training to participate in the Junior Mr. Europe contest. And he did win the competition. But he was sent back to jail for going absent without notice. But it didn't really matter to him. And after that, he was placed second in another bodybuilding contest. And then went on to win the Best Built Man of Europe. And that pushed him into the spotlight. He set his heart on winning Mr. Universe. And then because he viewed the opportunity as his ticket to America. So as soon as his army service has ended, 19-year-old Arnold got in his very first plane and went to Mr. Universe competition in London. At 19, when he participated in the Mr. Universe competition, he didn't really win. But you know what? One of the judges was so impressed with his physique that he offered to coach him. But Arnold was so broke. He didn't know where to stay, so he stayed in the judge's crowded family home above a gym. He worked tirelessly for that Mr. Universe competition. And you know what? When he was 20, he became the youngest to win the title. And here's the favorite quote of Arnold. In his own words, "Failure is the necessary experience for growth in our own lives. For if we're never tested to our limits, how will we know how strong we really are? How will we ever grow?" There's a lot of wisdom to that, isn't it? Remember Arnold's plan? Become Mr. Universe, go to America, make movies, make a lot of money. Right? That was his plan. At 21, he was already a huge star with the Mr. Universe title. So his next move was to make movies in America. And he was a man of bottomless ambition. He also graduated from the University of Wisconsin with a major in international marketing of fitness and business administration. At 23, he was the youngest to win Mr. Olympia, a record he still holds today. Obviously, he won competition after competition, and all the earnings he got in business, he turned into investment. And like that, even before he was 25 years old, Arnold Schwarzenegger was a self-made millionaire. Well, like anything else, not everything goes as planned. So when he started his movie career, every agent and casting director told him that his accent was too strong and his name was too long. Arnold Alois Schwarzenegger. His body was too weird. Well, fortunately, his physique attracted the attention of Andy Warhol, who used him as a model and introduced him to big movies. After a few months of struggle, he launched a small role in Hercules. His English was bad. He couldn't say his lines well enough. So, well, the production ended up dubbing him. But the role lit a fire under him. He wanted to be a movie star. And he started making movies after movies and started slowly acting in bigger productions. Eventually, he won the New Star of the Year award at the Golden Globe. When he was 30 years old, he landed in his huge movie, The Conan the Barbarian. The movie was a hit. And then he made a sequel out of it, and then he made a string of action hero movies, including Commando, Total Recall, and the most famous of all, The Terminator. By then, he was known, in fact, he was globally recognized for his strength, his blockbuster movies, acting career, millions of dollars he made. But that wasn't enough. In fact, when he married Maria Shriver, who was the niece of John F. Kennedy, he started becoming more politically active in the Republican circle. Then he made some movies after that as well, along with Sylvester Stallone. Now he's 70 years old. He continues with his well-earned life as a movie star, a businessman, and an environmental activist as well. He's deeply involved in Special Olympics and a dozen other charitable causes. Arnold is the true story of American dream. Starting from the poverty-stricken villages to himself being a huge Hollywood star and making billions, his career is a great lesson about dreaming big and working hard. And here's his favorite quote. And we'll end this podcast episode with his most famous quote of mine. Be hungry for success. Hungry to make your mark. Hungry to be seen, and hungry to be heard and to have an effect. And as you move up and become successful, make sure also to be hungry for helping others. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Friends, this is the story of Arnold Schwarzenegger. I learned a lot while I was researching, and I hope you learned a little bit about Arnold that you did not know before. I hope that helped. Until next time, this is Srikanth Konda signing off. Stay safe.